Good morning, everyone. We are here today for a 1955 S plastic tube roll. This little guy right here. It's roll reveal number 227, and it is noon Eastern time on the 21st of December. I'm going to go ahead and get started after we say hello to everybody in the chat. Joe McBride, Eric Byer, Yo Man Go. A little bit early this morning. We're not used to shows as early as noon, but I got kind of bottle tied into the idea of having to do all my reveals on a Monday, pretty much. Screenshot doesn't look good. What screenshot are we talking about? Can you hear me? The screen is fine if you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Shows that my mic is working. Hello, hello, hello. Anybody tell me if you can hear me? Anyone? You hear me and had to refresh video. That's weird. Well, let me get started and see. I mean, if I get on the road here with this, we have troubles, we'll have to restart the stream, but I think we should be okay. All right. Can you see this coin? If you can see that coin, then we are doing fine. Hey, coin junkie. There's Dynamac. Coin number 1 is going to go to Dynamac. And it looks like we may have an RPM here. Hey, yo man. Alright, everybody says they can see fine. And this is an RPM. Not sure which one right off the bat, but it is an RPM. You've got a split upper and lower serif. You can see those pretty well right here. You get my lighting in a direction, make it easier to see. There we go. Eric, what am I looking at here, bro? I put you to work early. Definitely an RPM, no doubt. I should memorize these. There's only 14 different RPMs known for 1955S, and I run into all of them on a somewhat regular basis. I mean, considering I go through about, 5 or 10 rolls of these per month or so. Looks like number 9? Okay. So we'll call that number 9 for now. And it is distinguishable because it has a large die scratch going through the second 5 of the date. All right, let me zoom back out to regular size on this so that I don't have any issues with looking at the rest of the coins. There we go. And let's see, let me turn the camera back around. Turn the coin back around. I do that so I can light up the serifs properly. My lights come in side to side, and having the coin up and down does not work really well for trying to view serifs. So I light up the serifs. That is number 9. I remember the die gouge. So we got an RPM number 9 to get us started with Dynamac. At least I know she's got one now, right? Coin number 2. But if I light these side to side with the coin oriented like this, I can't really see the serifs really well. This is another RPM, by the way. So what I do is I turn the coin sideways. That lights up. See, my lower serif is nice and split. You can see that now. But then I zoom in to take a closer look. Yo man, they can. However, these lumps that you see in the lower and upper loops of the S are very normal for the S mint mark punch. It's just a part of the gig. And then what I do is I get it nice and centered in there and get it really well focused. And generally, I look generally in this area right here to get it focused. And then I twist my camera so that the image is straight up and down. Usually it stays in place. Right now it's being a little cantankerous. But there we go. So we have a different RPM here. I don't know which one it is right off the bat, but I do know it is an RPM. It's not number 5, it's not number 1, not number 2, not number 3. It's not number 12, 13, or 14. That's what I can tell you. And let's look over here. We do not have that die gouge that goes above the L for the number 9, so this one's definitely a different one. I'm gonna back out to a decent distance. No notification, Josh? Ugh. Yuck, I hate that. I'll send an email out to all the people who are involved in the rolls after I finish this one. I have to move my light back out of the way so I can see my entire field. Now I'm going to turn my whiskers back up, and we can see everything lit from the top as our eye would expect it to be. It's another important thing when you're talking about doing photography of coins. Photography of coins is best done with the light shooting from the top of the coin. It's just natural that way. You see this as being like that catalog picture that you see of a expensive or rare valuable coin. I'm going to take my shot down so we could talk about this a little bit. There we go. Take my exposure down a little bit. You can see everything is lit from the top of the design. Everything like this area and this area down here and this up here especially points toward the top of the design, so those are lit. Now here's what happens if I turn it upside down. If I turn the coin upside down to the light and then I turn the camera so that the coin looks normal, looks like everything is ghostly lit from underneath. You don't want to take photos like that. Gotta do something different with my camera cord. Now let me move my exposure knot down a little bit, get a better exposure on the coin. You see what I'm talking about? Everything is lit from underneath, and that's just not a good thing for photography. In photography, you always want your coin lit from the top down, not from the bottom up. So, turn my camera back around the right way, turn my coin back around the right way, and we see it as we expect to see it, lit from the top. I'm going to move my exposure bar back up again, then I can make it disappear like that. So here we go. Here's the rest of the coin. I have seen this recently. I know these marks. These are recessed marks in the coin, which means they are probably scratches on the hub that created the die, because the die, they would have to be standing out. In order to be recessed on the coin, they'd have to be standing out in relief on the die. That is a very unusual thing, and this is repeated on this die for every roll that I've seen. I don't remember the die number specifically, but I do know this one is listed. So there you go. So that is a different die, and we're going to put that up here for Tim. And now coin number 3. Coin number 3 to Shannon McCord. What do we have for Shannon McCord? Let me zoom in a little bit, but too far away. Looks like we got nothing on this one. Keep taking a look around. This one could be DDO number 1. You never know. It is a DDO. It's a doubled eyelid. And that seems to be a single doubled eyelid, which could be DDO number 2. So we'll hold this out. It's a doubled eyelid. Get my lighting straightened out. Nope. Much better. So maybe a doubled eyelid. It may not be. So I was thinking I was seeing a doubled eyelid there. Now it looks like little gouges. Yeah, not really seeing a doubled eyelid anymore. I sure thought I was with the other way I had the lighting up. And now it doesn't look like it's much of anything. So I'm just going to keep moving on. It's going to be the first happy little coin that's going to end up making other happy little coins happy because, well, they don't make us very happy. There we go. So we've got nothing going on with this coin. We will know with the die we've got a scratch below the S, and we've got a bunch of little scratches east and west, a little patch of them that goes from in front of the vest to inside the vest. So we can know what we're looking at into the future. And so we're going to move on. $19.55S is not known for double die reverses. We have a number of decent RPMs, but no double die reverses are known. And this roll has to be a partner roll to another that we've been through before. So we're not likely to find any new double die reverses. That looks like maybe it's got machine doubling, but I'm looking at that mark on the outside of the S. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it's going to be an S over S West. You can see it on the lower serif and on the back of the S. Not sure which die this one is, but it certainly is apparently an RPM. Let me move this down so I can see that split better and see if I can pick up that split in the S. Oh yeah, definitely there. So this is for sure an RPM. Get a better angle on it here. There we go. That's a pretty decent angle. How about a good shot at what this one is? Eric, if you happen to be around. Get my lighting pushed back down in the right spot. There we go. Alright, so this one's going to go to Yo-Man. Yo-Man, you can tell me if you're around. You don't see this one at all? Oh, okay. That would be interesting. Very interesting indeed. Indeed. Sounds like that guy on, Little Martian. Marv the Martian or whatever his name is. The little black looking Trojan guy with the big beady white eyes on Bugs Bunny cartoons. Indeed.
You have made me very angry.
That guy.
I'm going to shoot you with my XG2Q space modulator.
Hey, what's this? Doesn't look like this one supports the idea of an RPM. It's just one little spot. It looks more like a gouge in the die than anything else. So we'll keep moving along. Keep moving along. Looks like could be a doubled eyelid. Maybe this is the same fool's gold we were chasing earlier in the roll, but I'm going to check it out anyway. Yeah, it's the same fool's gold we were chasing earlier. This is probably not a doubled eyelid. The biggest part of it is facing the wrong direction for it to be an eyelid. And it looks like all which stands out in relief in that area is related, meaning that we don't have a doubled eyelid. So what else do I look for here? Well, let's flip this one over and just take a quick look at the reverse and just make sure that we're not missing anything. There's any chance we could possibly be missing something that we want to see. So I'll make sure that we were correct in flipping the others. I don't see anything. So that's coin number 5. Coin number 5 is going to be our second coin that will live in a happy little world with coin number 3 over there. Now here's DN. DN gets coin number 6, and coin number 6 is looks like it's not an RPM. Beginning of a die crack on the B and the E of Liberty that shows that it could become a die break. Other than that, nothing. Am I not getting chat, or is people just not talking? And can I speak with proper grammar or not? Okay, here we go. This is coin number 6 now. 6 on the reverse. Nothing. That goes to DN. Now, coin number 7. Adam Connor. Adam Connor, let's see what Adam gets. Well, it may be a real minor RPM. Looking at the upper serif, it has just a little tiny bit of a split in it, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to make a difference. Would ya quit it already? Dog's going to get interested. Mama's downstairs clanking around getting her lunch, and the dog thinks he's going to get fed. Nothing really there. I mean, I can see just a little tiny bit sticking out of the upper serif, but that's just not going to be enough to tickle my tummy. Needs to be something I think that people could find in a lightly circulated version, so that the people can collect these who don't necessarily have availability to any good uncirculated rolls of coins. I have to keep that in mind all the time when I'm attributing coins. I have to be able to keep the goal attainable, and the attainable goal is to collect one of everything. I do realize that it's very difficult in some cases, especially like the 1958 double die in which only 2 coins exist, but they are attainable, if you can talk the current collectors who own them out of them, which I'm not sure who that is now. Could have told you who it was, 5 or 6 years ago. People sell stuff, though, and that's fine. It's part of the market. Got nothing there for Doug Reese either. All right, coin number 9. Number 9 goes to Farm Dog. Is this one of... Yes, it is. It's one of the stair-step RPMs. This is one of the later RPMs in the listing. It's a S over S East. You see it on the upper serif right there. So that does appear to be one of our RPMs. If I turn it this way, you'll actually see a little bit of a loop on the lower, right there. Little gimpy looking thing, but there is an extra S, extra serif up there to the east of the primary upper serif. So this one I do believe is going to be another one of our listed RPMs. Get it back in focus. Mama's eating tuna. I can smell it all the way up here. Got a very sensitive nose. Quit smoking 6 years ago. It's 6.5, almost 7 years ago now. And when I quit smoking, I suddenly started smelling things better. We've seen this before. Die gouge between the we and the T and Trust. So I'm pretty sure this one's already listed as well. There's another coin for Farm Dog. Now, move these over this way so I can fit all of these in here. Now, coin number 10 goes to Quads, quads.com. Let's see what we got here. In coin number 10 in this roll, that's RPM number 5 right there. It's got that mess below the mint mark. Well, we're coming up with a whole collection of RPMs out of this particular roll. Probably tells me that the roll may not be an original roll, but a put together of different 1955 S coins, which isn't a bad thing if you're running into varieties. So I'll take that as a positive. That's an RPM number 5 for quads.com. There's nothing extra on the reverse. Looking at it now. All right, now coin number 11. It's going to go to Sissy Atwell. And Sissy is going to get... Well, it's another RPM number 5. So Sissy will get this example of RPM number 5 in a pretty nice grade. Very decent looking coin, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. See what we've got going on there. It's a very late die state. Nothing really for damage or other like lamination or structure or anything like that. So we're just going to put it in its pocket and move on. That's Sissy's coin number 11. Now number 12. Number 12 is Joe McBride. If you guys take a look in the channel, you will find out that we do have all 4 of the reveal shows scheduled for today that are remaining. Our next reveal will be number 228, and 228 is a 1954 Philadelphia roll. And then we'll do 229, and 229 is a 1957 D roll. And then finally this week, 230. Number 230 is going to be a 1955 D roll. I'll get those sent out in an email to all of you who are involved in these rolls today. That's another one of our not a real double die. Is this one of the... This could be one of the RPMs. see anything so far. Let's take a look at the lower serif here. Well, I do see doubling on the upper serif, so the lower serif is probably going to have doubling on it as well. Let's see. Oh, come on. Would you agree with me for once? Here we go. There we go. We're a little better now. Let's see. I do see doubling on the upper serif, so I'm going to move this to the side anyway. I think this one's going to turn out to be RPM number 9. If it has a die gouge above the L, it will be. Let's look for the die gouge. It's not there. This is a different die. I don't know which one it is, but I do know it's an RPM. It's a little bit spotty. Hey, Adam. So that's coin number 13, Shannon McCord. I'm going to pull it off to the side as an RPM. Don't know which one it is, though. So coin number 14. 14 will be next. That's Dunn. And for Dunn, we are too far away, but I can see there is an RPM going on there. You can see it in the upper serif really well. This is one of the number 9s. This is RPM number 9 right here. There we go. So Dunn gets another RPM. Well, gets an RPM number 9. I'm not sure whether or not there's another one or not. Who got the first one? That would have been Dunn. So Dunn gets another RPM number 9. Only 2 found in the roll so far. Go to the same person. Now, Mr. Marshall, new Marshall in town. Gonna find you a. Looks like another RPM. That's a nice one. It's not number 9. It's the other one I've been pulling out here. Yeah, definitely not number 9. So I'll pull it out and put it in Mr. Marshall's holder. I'm getting to a point where I can't really ascertain for sure all my different piles of RPMs, so I'm just going to start piling them all together. I'll split them apart when I get them back under the scope. Tim Morrell. Tim Morrell gets the next one. And that is one of our East RPMs. I do believe. No, maybe not. Yeah, there it is. You can see it right here and right down here. There's the bottom of an S, bottom of a serif, upper serif, and then here's part of a curve right here. It's very small, but it is listed. It is one of our better RPMs, one of our 14 or 15 listed ones, however many there are. So hang on a second, I need a drink. Okay. Now I'm ready for coin number 17. Coin number 17 goes to Jeff Dunn. What do we got for Jeff Dunn here? It's another RPM number 9, I believe. Maybe. Number 9. Not number 9. Not number 9. Let me pull in and see if it's one of the East RPMs. I believe it might be. Yeah. So you can see that extra little serif sticking out right here. So that one's going to be yet another RPM. This one goes to Jeff Dunn. We are producing a pile of RPMs with this roll. Good stuff. First roll of the day, and it turns out to be a very nice one. Let's see, what do we got here? This one appears to be nothing. See if we find it to be a doubled eyelid or anything like that. This is the faux pas doubled eyelid, the ones that we thought were doubled eyelids in the very beginning, but they turn out not to be. So I move on. This one goes to Mike Birchman. These coins are all gem coins. They're all very nice. Well, there's a couple of them that have a few spots, but most of them are gem coins. Very nice looking coins. Got number 19 here now, Joe McBride. And Joe will get this coin. Not seeing anything on this one. Oh, look at that. Nice buy. Nice little buy die break going on there. There's a die crack coming in from the shoulder, from the rim to the shoulder. No RPM though, not on this one. Not that I could see. So I'll move this one along. And that's coin number 19. Let's bring up coin number 20 for Yo Man. Coin number 20 is RPM number 5. Another RPM number 5. Very cute, very nice. Thank you very much. Great little appearance by RPM number 5. This message brought to you by RPM number 5. I like this. I like this a lot. Having a good, successful roll. That's for Yo Man. Now, coin number 21, Shannon McCord. Shannon McCord gets... come on, light. That's one of my West RPMs. You can see the split right along the left curve, right there, the upper curve there. On the left side of the upper curve, you can see a really nice split. That's one of our RPMs. So it does not disappoint. That's for sure. Now, all of these coins in this roll so far have exhibited the master die doubling expected on all 1955 Lincoln cents. And, oh, that was an RPM. I'm going to stick it in the RPM pile. Now next, coin number 22. I'll show you that master die doubling on this coin after we find out if it's an RPM, and I do believe this one might be. Yeah. Not so fast there, Stinky. Looks like we got a normal coin going on here. I'll show you that doubling I'm talking about. Come right over here. Take a look at it. See that stuff on the top of the B and at the top of the E? That's part of it. That's master die doubling. You're going to see that on all 1955 cents. Now if we flip it around this way, you're going to see a little bit of doubling to the left of the T and the Y. That's also part of the master die doubling that's on every 1955 cent. I'm talking about this little thing on the corner of the T and then this little thing on the corner of the Y. Visible on all 1955 cents. So don't fool yourself into believing that you're finding a double die if you see these. They just, well, are not. Not double dies. Here, let me get this focus back up. Make it easier to see. You don't want to have to look through a bunch of fog to see the road. Well, you don't want to have to look through a bunch of fuzz to see a coin. Alright, that's going to be a normal coin. Now, coin number 23. Coin number 23. Mike Birchman. Alright, what do we got here for Mike? Does not appear to be RPM 5. It might be an RPM number 9. Let me check. Yep, it's a number 9. It's got that gouge above the L. This one's got a couple of minor color changes on it. Looks like maybe somebody fingered this coin at one point in time. Or it was the end of the roll, and it got fingered while it was at the end of the roll. Remember, these coins were tubed when they came to me, so there's every chance in the world that they were not in the same order that they had been when they originally came in a roll. So that's a number 9. That one's an add to Dynamax pile there. Larry got a hold of that one, that's for sure. All right, Tim Morrell. Mr. Timothy, what do we have for you? Let's see here. This one doesn't look like it's anything. No. We run into one of those once in a while, I guess. We have a nothing coin again. It's only 2 coins since our last nothing coin, so we're starting to get a little thinner on the varieties and a little thicker on the normal coins, and that's the wrong direction to be traveling in. Let's see what we have for coin number 25. It's an RPM 5. It's that mess to the south of the S. I think I'm rhyming without intending on it, so if you hear it, don't cheer it. It's quite unlike me to be poetic. So it is fully unintended for your viewing pleasure. Adam Chambers. And next coin, that is an RPM. It's one of those ones with the split on the back side of the S, I do believe. This is an RPM West. S over S West. Yeah, I think so. Get the light turned around just a little bit here. Yeah, maybe not. I do see a little doubling in the lower serif. So given I do see a little doubling in the lower serif, I'm going to pull this aside and see if I can match it up with markers to any of the other RPMs that we've already got pulled out of the roll. Sometimes the markers are a lot easier to see than the RPM itself. So we'll move on to coin number 27. Coin number 27 is going to go to Jim Fletcher. I don't know if Jim's around today. Can't remember if I saw him earlier. I see you guys so often in the different feeds, I tend to forget which feed I'm on. It's 1955S, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck knows that. Welcome to Coin Roll Hunting with Copper Coins, with your host, Chuck Daughtrey. A little late on the feed. Timing is everything, you know. Okay, looks like it could have been an RPM, so we're going to stick it in the RPM pile. And number 28 goes to John L. Let's see what Big John got. Okay, we do have a split in the upper serif. It's a small one, but it's a split in the upper serif. Let's see about the lower serif. Eesh. Doesn't quite look like enough. We'll find out though. We'll stick it in the pile of possibles. It may not be an RPM, but my eyeballs are a little tired right now. Unable to decipher everything, so I'm not going to take any chances on losing anything that could be. This one is not an RPM. So we will move on. Hi, sissy. Out on the road today, I take it? Sometimes I wish I had a job more like yours where I was out moving around all the time, but then most of the time I'm just happy being right here. There's another RPM number 5 with a little goober down below the first 5. We'll get that moved out of the way. And Quads will have himself a really nice RPM number 5 here. Let's see if we took care of that little goober down below the 5. Try to flick it off with a, there we go. Flick it off with a Q-tip, that works every time. Now Quads gets an RPM number 5. Let's see what comes after Quads' coin for Joe McBride. Joey, here you go, bro. See what you do have here. This one is interesting. It's a different die than I remember seeing in this roll so far. I'm going to have to zoom in and get better lighting on this to see what it is for sure. I know this isn't optimal lighting, but it does allow me to see what's going on the best. And I don't see anything of real value on this particular coin, unfortunately. Get it back under here. No, I'm not seeing anything here. Adam's out on the road. Adam, you in Kansas today? Or if Sissy might be in Kansas too. Get all my peeps in Kansas. Out to the 3rd of January. Oh, gosh. Hope we got a good Christmas celebration planned out on the road. There. Finally got my lighting straight. I'm still working on it, but I think I finally got it straight. Yeah, that looks better than nothing. Unfortunately, I don't think we have an RPM here, so we're going to keep moving along. Oh, wait a minute. Let me check the eye. Check the eye. Okay, none on the I, nothing there. And nothing on Liberty. That is a relatively fresh die, so it appears to be the first example of that particular die out of this roll so far. Oh, you're in Council Bluffs. Up in Iowa. Ooh, this might be the first time we've had two normals in a row. That's what this one is, too. That one's for quads. Coin number 32. Been through 32 coins, and it looks like I've got maybe 10 that are not RPMs. Oh, we do have another one here. Not an RPM. Also not a doubled eyelid. Hey, CVS. So that's 3 in a row. Coin number 34 goes to Mr. Marshall. The new Marshall in town. This one is an RPM. This one is an RPM I don't think we've seen in this roll yet. I'll zoom in really high on that. I believe this is RPM 12. Could it be? Or it may not be. Beginning to doubt myself. Yes, I am doubting myself now. This is not an RPM. I certainly thought it was. Good morning, Arizona. Good morning, Arizona. I don't do that as well as... Now, see, I do remember these marks being something that was important. But I don't see anything on the mint mark itself leaning me toward the idea that it's an RPM. Let's see what this looks like. No, just not seeing anything. Looks normal. Hello, Cullen. Looks like we've got a normal coin for Marshall here. Move on to coin number 35 now. And coin number 35 is going to go to Yeoman Gull. And Yeoman is going to be RPM-less here. No RPM. Let's get that and that. There we go. Nothing on the eye. Nothing in God We Trust. Oh, die clash there behind the neck. Probably a die clash. Yeah, die clash on the throat in front of the 1-9 of the date, but nothing else really. So that's coin number 35. We've been finding so many RPMs, we're running late. Coin number 36, Sissy Atwell. Here it comes. Ugh, what a letdown. This one does not appear to be an RPM or double die. We just looked at its companion coin just a couple of minutes ago. You've seen this one, this die before. Unfortunately, not an RPM, not a double die. Now number 37, Mike Birchman. Let's see what we can come up with for Mike Birchman. Hopefully an RPM. Yes, I do believe so. Maybe. Let me get this moved so that it works better. I think we're looking at a RPM. It's not number 9. Could be damage too. Well, for some reason it hit me as an RPM, so I'm going to take a good close look at it and see. But I'm going to find out probably that I'm wrong, which is actually rather normal for me. And I am wrong. This is not an RPM. Maybe it's just that willpower thing where I'm trying to make it what it isn't. And Sissy, was I in this roll hunt? And then she sees her own coin. Well, that answers that. Yes, ma'am, you are in this one. I'm going to send an email out as soon as this is done to see if I can drag in everyone who was involved in today's hunts. I've got 4 of them today. Beginning, well, from noon, which was this one, to, this is RPM 9. Bam. There we go. You got that nifty little die gouge above the L. You're going to have RPM number 9. That's what that is. We're going to be having these through 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Today is going to be the last roll for the day. It's going to be a 1955D. After this one, we have a 54P, a 57D, and a 55D. There's another one for Sissy. And what do we have but... I'm thinking not an RPM. How could this not be an RPM? It is not an RPM. Ugh. Nope. Nothing else. Sorry, Sissy. It ain't what it thought it was. Now, I said number 40 and another 1955S. Let's see what this one is. Could be an RPM. It's for Jim Fletcher. And what we find here is, I get my light to quit flickering, not an RPM. Another not coin. All right. Let's see. This roll makes no RPM rarer. Not necessarily, because this roll is a very, very, very small fraction of the overall number of coins out there in circulation, or out there, the 55S rolls that are still VU anyway. So any one of these RPMs could be scarce to rare. One thing we're not finding in this roll that can commonly be found is RPM number 2. RPM number 2 goes through a number of stages, and they are relatively common. And by the way, good morning, Esmac. On how special the roll is. Okay, I get it. I understand. You have to understand that with my, well, I'm going to call it a disability, condition, whatever you want to call it, my syndrome, or I'm not even sure what you really want to call it. I don't see it as a disability because I think it's just fine, but I have Asperger's. Having Asperger's, I take people very, very literally on what they say, and my ability to see sarcasm or to read sarcasm into a sentence is very difficult. Almost gone. I do have a sense of humor, but it has to be something rather obvious that it's a sense of humor thing. All right, Farm Dog now. Farm Dog will come up next. S-Mac. Are you someone I know, S-Mac? Did you change your name on YouTube? Or do I not really know you? Because there could be a number of different S-Macs, and I don't necessarily want to say the S-Mac. Okay, so you're not Shannon. Well, welcome to the family anyhow. I thought Shannon still went by his name, so. Got coin number 43 now. Not Shannon McCord. Okay, you probably get that a little bit. DN. And DN will get a normal coin. This one is not an RPM either. Not a double die lid. And no doubling here on the obverse. Let's check the reverse and see. Check a reverse once in a while just to make sure that we're not running into any double dies that we're not picking out. A very well abused reverse die. This one appears to be abraded with river gravel. Been on YouTube hiatus for a while. Been in and out and watch your channel for my RPM education. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. If you want to get involved anytime, you could show up on Tuesday evenings for the auction. Usually toward the end of the auction is where we run these rolls for sale. Can get you the possibility of having nice RPMs or double dies to actually hold in your hand. Another 55S here, and this one also appears to be a normal coin. No specialities here. Starting to tone down a little bit too. This one's toned down to a kind of a red-brown. That does happen from time to time. And no double die there either. So this is for Adam. Coin number 44. Now 45. Well, that one was for Adam Chambers. This one's for Adam Connor. And I believe this is an RPM number 9. Let's check for our gouge. And we have the gouge. Gosh, the camera is getting all kinds of willy wonky on me. I'm going to restart my computer as soon as this broadcast is over. Make sure that camera is not fuzzying out on me anymore. So Adam Connor joins the small group of RPM number 9 recipients here. And that right there is his. Now coin number 46. Coin 46 goes to Doug Reese. I've got his name in there upside down. I need to change that. There we go. We got Doug Reese. And now we're going to look at his coin. And now it appears to be a nothing. Unfortunately, appears to be nothing. Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on. That's number 46. Now coin number 47. We've got about 58 minutes, just about 1 hour until we do another reveal. Dynamax in there upside down too. I got a certain way I do all this stuff. And if I mess it up, I'm a little compulsive about making sure I got it right. Got a whole bunch of coins to deal with. I have to be very organized about how I deal with them. My timeliness suffers because of the amount of time it takes to research a lot of this information. And it just helps my timeliness a lot when I'm absolutely perfect about my function, how I function. And putting those name cards in there, that way helps me sort them. If I put them in upside down, it kind of throws my sorting off because I have to read upside down. There's another one that went in upside down. I guess I did that with a lot of these. All right. Here's Adam Chambers, I'm sorry. Yuck. Got a spot. Not an RPM. And got a spot. Yeah, there's only been one buy in the roll. That's interesting, too. You're right, Joe. Okay, that's coin number 48. That goes to Adam. Now coin number 49. Coin number 49 is Jeff Dunn. See if we have anything for Jeff Dunn. Appears not. Nope, unfortunately, nothing there on coin number 49. Well, it looks like the last half of the roll made up for well over half of the non-RPM coins in the roll. And it has basically destroyed our better than 50% RPMs. That's the last coin of the roll, number 50, goes to John L. And I do not see an RPM here. Nothing. So there we go. There's the roll in its entirety. I'm going to keep these piles kind of separated while I pick them up, to be sure I'm picking them up in the same order that I think the RPM showed up in. And we've got something, possibly something, on all of these coins. We've got turn these around so that you guys can read them. There we go. 45, 23, 14. Number 1, number 2, number 9, number 4, number 15, number 13, number 38, number 30, number 28, number 27, number 26, number 25, number 21, 20, and 17, 16, 11, and 10. So probably close to half the roll. What do we have here? 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21. 21 coins. They belong to Quads, Sissy, Tim Morrell, Jeff Dunn, Yeoman, Shannon McCord, Doug Reese, Adam Chambers, Jim Fletcher, John L. Quads, Deanne, Shannon McCord, Marshall, Yeoman, Farm Dog, Tim Morrell, Donna Mac, Mike Birchman, and Adam Connor. So that's a pretty decent stack of RPMs come out of this roll. There are the RPMs right there. And then this represents all the normal coins in the roll. Right here. And I'm going to do a little something. For all of you guys here right now, if you guys can think of a question, any question that you want to ask about coins, about me, about the history of coins, about the history of my career, anything to that effect, go ahead and ask me the question. And in my next broadcast in 50 minutes, I'll answer that question for you during the broadcast. That'll give me a little bit of a chance to do a little research if I need to, or anything that needs to be done in my own brain to come up with an answer for you. So that's what I'm going to spend the next 2 or 3 minutes collecting these questions from you. Then we'll shut down the feed. I'll go eat lunch and come back and get a new feed going. Got to send that email out to all of you, all of those interested parties in the RPM hunt. Favorite coin find of all time, okay? Why is linking facing the opposite of other coins? Okay. I've got both of those. Any other questions from anyone else? Will my book be reprinted? Okay. just collecting the questions from now. You got to come back next hour to find out for sure what the answer is. The copper coin's top 10 RPMs. That would be better if I did something, I'd think, visual with that. Make it easier to see what I'm talking about with the top 10 RPMs. But I can easily tell you what the top 10 RPMs in my mind are. So I'll do that. You guys can look them up, I guess. Any other questions? Then I'll throw the switch, collect myself, get my lunch, and come back for the next broadcast in about 50 minutes. Lighting setup that I use. Could I show it? I'm going to save that one for another time. Right now I got a mess on the desk I don't want to show on camera. Yeah, I know everybody's desk is a little messy, but mine's a little specially messy right now. Favorite year to collect. Okay. Can do that. So you guys give me an entertaining hour worth of something to say. My favorite RPM of all time? Okay. I can give you that one too. And we could even discuss the answer to these questions. You can ask follow-up questions, or you can, maybe I'll poll you guys. I'll tell you what my favorite RPM is, then ask you what yours is and why. That might work. Some of you it's because of birth years. Some of you it's because, well, you just like it. All right, folks, well, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and shut down here and go get my lunch. I'm in need of lunch. My blood sugar is going crazy on me. Biggest regret in coins, I can definitely tell you about that one. I appreciate it, folks. I'll be back. We'll be doing answers to these questions and more in 50 minutes with our 1954 Philadelphia roll. It's going to be coin roll hunt number 228. I'll see you guys then. Much peace to everybody.